What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So for the last, I would say 5 or 6 months or so, I've been riding around, or I guess I should say driving around, without a skid plate covering the engine area. So typically I have my Tacoma, the stock one, the little cheap flimsy aluminum one that would be on there. But when I went to Colorado, it got damaged pretty bad and was rubbing against my lower control arm skid plates, which got, the other side got banged up pretty good. So here's the passenger side. You can see the edge right there. It kind of goes to like a point. And if you look at the driver's side, that's completely like smashed in right there. So it hit pretty good on some few rocks, a little bit of rust, nothing major. But reached out to Tacoma Bees, being the awesome sponsor that they are. They reached out to another company called Rival 4x4, who agreed to send me skid plates for every part of underneath my truck. Since I have the lower control arm skids, I don't think I'm going to change those out just because those are steel, and Rival 4x4 sent me aluminum, which I'm completely cool with because it's going to reduce weight. But those are the parts that did get hit the most. So I think I'm going to leave the RCI ones on there just for the purpose of them being steel. However, everything else will be aluminum. So the engine, the transfer case, actually I have a gas tank one already, which is nice and rusted. That one is steel, super thick, extremely heavy. Like, this thing's not going anywhere. So I'm not even gonna attempt to remove that. But everywhere else will have coverage with aluminum skid plates. So like I said, aluminum, they are 6 millimeters thick. For the Tacoma engine, this is a 2015 to 19. I have a 2020 Tacoma. I don't imagine that'll be much of an issue. And then it also fits 2011 to a 2015 Tacoma as well. Actually, looks like 2019 and on, so I should be good. So once I get these skid plates on, I'll give you guys a review. I'm gonna do some off-roading and whatnot and see how, I guess, like minor rocks, like what type of damage they do to aluminum, because I've always been told not to get aluminum, but we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be completely fine. I'm not going to be going over any big boulders like in Colorado, so aluminum should be perfectly fine. And if you want to get yourself some, then go to the Tacoma Beast website, use code TACOMAN5, and you'll save a little bit of money. All right, opening up the box. Very nice. It's got some good, actually 6 millimeters, pretty good. That's some good thickness, especially for aluminum. I'm imagining, ooh, to be honest, got a decent weight to it. Nothing like the steel one, obviously, but very nice quality. It's got the area where you can do the oil. I'm not too sure what that's for. Let's see, got our whole install kit, or our instructions. Oh, there's the install kit right there. Now, obviously, this would look a lot better if it was black, so I could definitely get it powder coated. However, I do need to take photos with this on, so I'll get the photos once I get it installed with just the plain aluminum color, or this color that they have on there, and then I'll probably get them powder coated black, so then I'll take them all off and take them into a shop. And not many tools are needed. 13 millimeter ratchet, 17 millimeter ratchet, and a torque wrench. And then it's got some pretty good instructions that are all laid out, step 1 through, let's see, it looks like 5, and then you're done. So let's get started. Okay, on the crash bars, we're gonna remove, on the passenger side, this top bolt and the rear bolt. And then on the driver's side, we're gonna remove the bolt towards the driver's side, so of the 2, and then also the back one as well. So 4 bolts total on both crash bars. I forgot I had this rear portion of the skid plate on still, so I got to remove it. However, it got hit pretty hard and bent in towards the bolt, and I can't get a ratchet in there to remove it, so I've got to just knock that piece back real quick. A little bit of damage there, but we got to get rid of this because that new skid plate, it looks like it's going to cover this whole area all the way back to here. I'm almost there. I can almost get it. It's almost enough to grab. Just got to keep knocking it back. A tad bit more hitting this piece here to bring it back. And to show you how thin, sorry, I'm upside down, but you can see that's like paper thin, these stock skid plates that come on the truck. So having this new, at least like that thick of aluminum, definitely gives me some good peace of mind. All right, that was an absolute pain in the butt, but we got it off. You can see it's got a pretty bent right there. And then try to show you guys a little bit better. Like, that's how thin the 3rd gen skid plate is that comes stock on it. So not much help. I mean, I guess I can't say that because it did take some damage and it prevented anything from getting damaged down here. So props to that little skid plate. So now in the hardware pack, that is the smallest bolt with that washer and then that spacer. And that's now going to go in the back where that skid plate was attached. So you see these, you have one opening there and it's just screw it right in. A little tough, but the other one goes right there. So that's towards the back of the truck. So once you're done with steps 1 and 2, which were take off the 4 bolts and then add the 2 in the back with the spacers, you go right into putting on the skid plate. So the rear part of the skid plate where those spaces are, as shown there, is gonna, looks like it's gonna latch kind of right into there. So you don't tighten them completely, but it looks like it'll kind of secure into the skid plate on the back portion. So let's go see what the skid plate looks like on the back. So right there, the spacer is probably gonna hook right into that, and that's how we'll keep it in place until we get it fully secured. So if you don't have the tools to lift your truck up and be able to hold something like in place to keep your, like to move, that's mobile, where you can put your skid plate right up against like where it needs to mount, this is how I have found it to be easiest when you're doing something like this alone. Is I just rest it on my stomach. I don't raise my truck up. My truck stays basically ground, or nothing's underneath it to raise it up off the ground, because it makes it easier for me to rest the skid plate on my stomach and then kind of push it into place. So I'm gonna try to show you guys the best I can. All right, that might be the best angle that I'm able to get for you guys, but you can see, hopefully, here's one bolt and the other one's way over here. And I don't have them fully secure to have, hopefully, the thickness of the skid plate in between that and the truck. So if I bring my skid plate up here, and I can line it up. It looks like I gave myself just enough room. Actually, that's gonna be a little tricky. It looks like it needs to maybe come down. Actually, I mean, in the instructions, hopefully you guys can hear me, it says to put these on like the very first step, but I find it that's probably gonna be a little difficult because this isn't like completely flush. Okay, I mean, there's got to be a way, so let's try this again. There's just not much room to really work with here. But if I could get, yeah, you don't got much room to secure that bolt in there. Okay, that's like as much as that'll secure in there. Now if I go over to the other side, all right, I think we're gonna be good. It's kind of like these bolts needed to be a tad bit longer. Here we go. I don't want this to fall on my face. That's the other downside of this. So just gonna tighten it a little bit more. Now, obviously, this is a lot harder if you have steel skid plates because they are way heavier. Okay, so that right there is probably the best. I'll be able to get those to secure. All right, now we're on to step 4. So it says attach central part of the skid plate using bolts M12 by 1. So you just look over here, M12 by 1, and then it's 25 by 90. So M12 by 1, 25 by 90 is picture C. So that's the longest of the bolts. So 1, 2, and then washers 12. So washers 12 is E. So we have these thick washers, or not thick, but regular washers right there, and spacers 1.77 inches, position H. So those big ones, I think. Wait, yeah, H shows it's longer than that one. So then we get these big ones. Bam, and that's how it'll look in the photo. So now we'll do the center part, somewhere down right there. Okay, got these two, where's it at? Right there, secured. Left a little bit of play, you can see. And now we just got to do the top part. So one more, and then one on the passenger side. And it'll be the same concept, washer against the bolt. Then you have the spacer, which will go inside here first, and the bolt will secure from underneath. Got it all aligned. That bolt right there and that one, it was a pain because I was constantly having to like push the skid plate back, move it to the side, hold it up. That was the only difficult part. I would have thought it was going to be a lot easier because the bottom 4 bolts were already aligned, but didn't help at all. And this also didn't help. Right here is on the instructions, it says to remove the bolt on the right side up here, but it was actually this bolt on the left side once I got it aligned. So that was a pain in itself. So I had to reinstall that bolt on the right side and then remove the one on the left side. One other alignment issue was I had to remove the back bolt that goes like all the way in the back over there, the one that kind of just sits on as you slide it in. I had to remove that one in order to get these 2 bolts up here secure. So that was a little bit of an issue as well. So that one in the way back I didn't have to remove, but from all the adjusting and whatnot, it is pretty snug on there. So I'm just gonna tighten that as best I can. And then this was a one that I actually did have to remove. So I may not even be able to use it if I can't get the bolt to line up, which I'm gonna try next. So hopefully it lines up and I can just secure it, you know, even if it's just a little tight. Looks like I might be able to. Let's see here. Hopefully this doesn't fall. What's going on with that? There we go. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it aligned. Where's my bolt at? I think that's aligned pretty well. Come on. Okay, I think we're gonna be good. So I guess when you install this, just follow the normal directions that it says and leave these extremely loose. That's how I did it. And then follow through with the middle part of the skid plate and the very front of the skid plate. And if you need to, you could just remove one of these. All right, it's all installed. We're good to go. I've made some Sharpie marks in the back just to see if anything's loosened up over time. I'm expecting this skid plate to do very well against rocks. I mean, it's got the 1/4 or the 1/4 inch thickness. Yeah, it's aluminum, so it's not going to have the complete durability as steel, but those are still very nice aluminum skid plates. So if you're thinking of getting any, I think right now they are $100 off on sale. And today's December 18th, so by the time you watch this video, they may no longer be. And if that's the case, then use code TacoMan5 on Tacoma Beast, save a little bit of money. If you have any questions, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram, YouTube, and I'll respond back usually right away. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.